Hey guys, Arm and Gun here today with a fun video on swapping around some barrels on the SIG MPX. Now, the SIG MPX is a modular platform. There's different calibers out there, different barrel lengths. So if you guys are swapping something out or just field stripping and want to get in that barrel or that piston system, we're going to go through that today. I'm going to pull it out to show you how to take it all apart and then put it back together again. And I got a really cool bonus gun for you guys at the end of the video, and that'll be about it for today. So this MPX kit, I've got the 4.5-inch barrel and the 8-inch barrel. Both are chambered in 9mm. These are just some frangible rounds, nice for shooting steel up close. And if you think this MPX is looking particularly sexy, I will have a video on probably Tuesday, a few days from now, it's the upgrading guns video on the MPX. We're gonna go through all the different accessories I put on here. A couple more things are going to get swapped out for that video, and well, part of it's going to be the barrel change because it's going to show up in mostly a stock format, and then we're going to get into well, that sexified, pimped out version. So without further ado, let's get into it here. So first things first, prove it clear, and you'll want the bolt to the rear anyways. We'll pop this optic off, and front pin has to come out because the front pin retains your handguard. So with that off, we're going to expose the two Torx screws that retain the barrel. There's two, well, this is little nuts in the back, this little retaining plate. This is a newer gun. The older ones had two little kind of half moon shaped or semicircle with a flat edge retaining nuts. For tools, all you're going to need then is a Torx wrench and potentially a little mallet to tap out the piston. So to start off, I believe it's a Torx 25. That feels about right. And these are basically just snug. So once you guys have those all the way threaded out, that's it. They're both the same. They're both interchangeable. You'll notice there's a little bit of blue Loctite on there from the factory, so when you're taking them off for the first time, they might be a little extra snug. You can always heat them up. That'll help loosen it a little bit. And now your barrel should just come right out. Might be a little snug, but again, it should just wiggle a little bit, and it should be coming forward. And maybe double check to make sure that the retaining pin at the back is off, because that's also gonna lock it in there. And actually mine came out super easily after that was out. Wipe this down a little bit. And we're gonna pop out the piston next. So that little guy here, it's a little crescent, and you can see it's retained in there. So what you guys are gonna do now, I guess, so you need one more tool for this. You could run a smaller Torx through this pin right here and then spin it. You can also use a wrench. So all you gotta do is spin it around 180 degrees, and that should come out on its own. But if it's a bit carbon caked on there, it's your first time taking it off, it might be a little snug. There's a couple ways you can get this off. Again, you can run something through here and then tap this out, but it already has a tap it built in. The actual little piston piece that cycles the action. You can just tap it, out, and that's gonna pop out your little, I guess, gas cylinder head. I think it's got an emergency blow-off system, something like that. I've heard someone speculate. Not for sure, but it is, it's got gas rings on there, and it's what seals up the little unit. So, pretty cool, and that's how you also service your piston. So we'll pop that out, maybe without scuffing it up here. Pop that out. There's your piston itself. Again, you got your traditional, very typical AR-15 bolt gas rings, and that's inside this little unit. So just clean that out and throw it back together. When you're putting it back together, the biggest trick is to get it lined up more or less flat, which I didn't do a great job of there. But get it lined up flat, put it back in, put this back in, spin it in, and you're good to go. So now I'll throw on the 8-inch barrel, which is already all done up. That's your little movement inside there with the piston. gas pressure comes past here, ports it off and cycles it. It fills that chamber, and it pushes that piston forward, and that is what impinges on the carrier group and cycles it. I do have a full field strip of the gun itself. I did a long time ago. If you guys want to see just how to field strip the gun, you can check that out. I've also done a similar video to this on the SIG Rattler. So I've got a disassembly video and a barrel swap and removal with piston system if you guys are interested. All right, so the barrel goes back in. It's got a little locating or indexing nub on the bottom, and that's going to correlate with this little cutout here on the bottom of the receiver. And that will just go in like so. Not a bad idea to throw a little oil on there first as well. I'm not going to keep mine in this configuration, so I'm really just doing it for the purpose of the video. We'll run these pins back in. You might need to wiggle your barrel a little bit just so that collar gets all the way in, the second part. Okay, that's it. And you're going to hold these in place and get your back plate in as well. Actually, hold your back plate in and then spin these in. You can spin these in by hand, and then I tighten the back one first. It's just what I do. All right, now to get it tightened down, just probably like a quarter turn or so after it's just kind of snug. And I'm comfortable with that. Okay, then you throw your handguard on, put your front pin in, and you guys are good to go. There we go. We've got an 8-inch barrel now in our SIG MPX. All right, guys, bonus gun time, and this one is a doozy. All right, guys, we have ourselves, let's pop out this camera. We have ourselves an M60 E4 Mod 1. Super cool time. This one is made by Desert Ordnance. It's a semi-automatic only, unfortunately, at this time. And I will be doing a video series on this thing very soon. Got links, got rounds. Well, we're just going to do up our range a little bit more here, and then we're going to have some fun with it. So this one is sporting 2 bipods just to be extra excessive, and 2 carry handles to annoy my good buddy Richard over at Movie Armaments Group. Inside joke, just a long-standing back and forth. He really does not like carry handles on anything except for a classic AR-15, and I like to throw them on everything to push his buttons. Speaking of which, Accutacs have a pretty fun little button themselves. Retract those legs, and that's it. That's for the show today. Thanks a ton, guys. Again, stay tuned for a couple days. We're gonna have that upgrading guns video on the SIG MPX, and lots more cool content on the way. Also, yesterday's video, or the last video I posted, was a lot of fun. It was kind of a new segment. I do it on IGTV on my Instagram. The Wall of Guns review. Basically, I just throw out a bunch of guns on a Galotech wall system, and it's a cool system to work with. I do a new system every week, or roughly. I do a few of them a month. Right now, and I thought I would do one for YouTube because it was quite popular on Instagram, and it didn't get a lot of traction initially, so I'm hoping that that picks up over time because I had a lot of fun with that video. So anyways, go check it out, and check me out on Instagram as well. I'll do a little tag there at arm.and.gun, and guys, that's the video. Thanks a ton. Arm&Gun out.